Let's try this again, right? All right, I hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. Hopefully, no filters are screwing with me. I didn't even know I had one on last time. So, as usual, I've got another murder story for you guys. It's another doozy, like usual. You know, I try and bring you guys only like the best of the best, right? Of murder stories. That's a little twisted, but it is what it is. So, like usual, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Storytime Auntie Cuckoo, Koo, Koo. Let's do it. So, I'm going to tell you guys about a young lady who murdered her mother and got accepted to Harvard and then got denied because she lied and didn't say she murdered her mother. Right? Doozy. So here's all the deets. It takes place in Lexington, South Carolina. In 1990, our key player is Gina Grant. Grant happens to be my mother's maiden name. So of course I heard the story. I was like, I've always had questions. Anywho, so Gina Grant, she's 14 years old. She's actually like a straight A student, cheerleader. I believe she's like the first female president of her Students National Honor Society or whatever it is in their school. And then she's the daughter of Dorothy Mayfield, who is married to Charles Grant. Charles Grant dies of lung cancer when Gina is about 11 years old. At that point in time, her mom, Dorothy, who everyone called her Dot, she still held her job and like was a respectable woman, but literally started spiraling down. I mean, poor Gina's 11 years old, and Dot's just lost her husband. She works, but she gets home and she literally just drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks. I mean, 11-year-old, I didn't see anything of abuse or hitting or anything like that, but imagine come home and your mom's just passed out drunk all the time, anyways, so that's a life that's leading, and this goes on, and Gina, when she's 15 years old, in 1990, she meets a bad boy, named Jack Hook. Jack Hook has like a completely different lifestyle than her, comes from the wrong side of the tracks, that whole story, She falls hard for him. She brings him home to meet mom, Dot, and mom's like, I don't like him. That ain't my cup of tea. He ain't for you, whatnot. So needless to say, Gina starts sneaking around with him, and she actually even sneaks out to go see him. Mom, like I said, was a big drinker. So mom would be passed out drunk and sleeping. And she'd sneak out to go see her boyfriend. Sometimes Gina even got brazen enough where she would sneak her boyfriend into the home to spend the night, teens, 15 years old. Jack Hook's 15, Gina, she's 15, young teens. Mom's getting wasted, passed out on the couch. I probably would have done it too. Sneaking boys in? Heck yeah. Who wouldn't have? Needless to say, eventually, mom found out. I don't know, maybe one morning she woke up and went up to get Gina up, and she's like, what the hell is this boy doing here? I don't know how it went down, but mom found out, and she was pissed. Like I said, forbade. Like, you cannot see this boy. You're done. You're done. You're done. So, Gina, being a rebellious teen, she was not only ticked supposedly that mom, one, forbade her from seeing, the love of her life, your first love, your boyfriend, your soulmate, the whole shebang. She was not only ticked about that, but supposedly she was like embarrassed. She was devastated of her mom's actions. She was 11 when things went downhill. It's not like she was so young that she didn't remember things being good and things being right. Supposedly there was a lot of things, but she was very ticked about a ton, and she was pissed. Like, exit out of my life will be better, is how she felt. And that brings us to the night of the incident, which takes place on September 13th, right? 1990. Mom, before, it's like a sunset as it's dark. Mom, of course, again, is drunk. Good old Dot mom, drunk again on the couch. And Gina's pissed. Plan goes into motion. She grabs, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a candlestick, like in Clue. Professor Plum in the library. I don't know. But bludgeons her friggin' mother to death. Bludgeons her. Repeatedly hitting her in the head. In the front of the head, the back of the head. Mom at times like trying to block herself and getting like whacked in the arm and stuff. Literally, they said they saw at least 13 blows to the head for sure. So after she bludgeons her mother to death, the next part of her plan was to call her boyfriend, the bad boy, "What up, Jack Hook? If you could just swing by my house real quick, I need a favor." I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know what she said, but I'm guessing. I mean, what else do you say? "If you could just swing by real quick, I'll give you a PJ when you get here. I got a favor to ask." I don't know what she said, but he got there and she was like, "So my mom's dead. What I'm going to need you to do is take this knife." And I'm telling you, this is what happened. I'm not making it up. I know I'm not laughing, and I shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny. I just sometimes laugh at myself and my dramatics, the way I'm telling this story. I don't mean to tell it like that because it's not funny. But anyway, she's like, "What I need you to do is," after she bludgeoned her mom, she's like, "What I need you to do, Jack, is take this knife and plunge it in her neck, because I'm going to call the police and say it was a suicide." First of all, Gina, you just beat the crap out of your mother with an object. You bludgeoned her to death. You called Jack to put a knife in her throat after she was dead? Like, why would you bring an extra person into it at this point in time? Like, what is happening here? You got accepted to Harvard? Anyway, sorry to get off track, but like, I've been lost on this all along. So anyway, so Jack does it. He stabs mom in the neck with the knife and leaves. Skittles on. And Gina calls 911 and is like, "Hello, officers. My mother, she's killed herself." So the popos show up and they come and they're looking around, and poor Dot, I mean, like I said, she's been bludgeoned to death in the head and now has a knife sticking out of her neck. Not only is a knife sticking out of her neck, I'm sorry, not only is a knife sticking out of her neck, but they also put her hand and wrapped it around the knife like she had stabbed herself in the neck after beating herself in the head or something. So the police obviously are questioning Gina and are like, "What's going on here?" She's like, "She committed suicide." And like, that's not what happened. Look at all these injuries. They're like, "Oh, well, earlier in the day, she'd fallen down the stairs. She fell down the stairs and then stabbed herself. That's why her head looks like that." Literally. So Gina tells them this and they're like, no. Everything they tell her, she comes up with another, like, "No, what had happened was," she had like another story. Like, she thought she was smarter and quicker than the police. And let me tell you what, apparently she was when you hear the end of the story. So she literally is like coming on top of stuff. And they're like, "No, that's not what happened. You know, your mom didn't fall down the stairs and then stab herself in the neck." And then she's like, "Well, what happened was my boyfriend, Jack, he did it. He came over and he murdered her." And they're like, "No, Gina, here's the timeline, and this, they had all this evidence." So they then come at her. They're like, "Gina, here it is. You're the one who done it." She's like, "Well, what really had happened was my mom was abusive to me. So I had to beat her up and I had to kill her." Needless to say, and as many of you know, I'm Canadian and I love my country as much as I love America too. I love America very much, but this just blows my mind. So Canada, they charge her, obviously she killed her freaking mother. So they charge her with, voluntary manslaughter, and she is sentenced to, the juvenile courts will talk about it and let you know soon, pretty much is what they said. And then her boyfriend, Jack Hook, he was charged with, look, I'm not even on the right page. He pleads no contest to accessory after the fact to voluntary manslaughter, and he's sentenced with 1 year. Like I say, I don't know what happened when he showed up to the house, but she convinced him to plunge that knife. I don't know. She sounds like a lunatic to me, so who knows? She might have been like, "If you don't do it, I'll kill you." Who knows? So 1 year, that kid might have only deserved that. Maybe he's demented too. I don't know. Needless to say, so as she, and here comes the kicker in the whole thing, as she's sentenced to her time and the juvenile courts in Canada are discussing, like, how long are we going to sentence her till? I think they have up until she's 21. Like I said, she's 14, almost 15 when the crime happens. As they're talking about her family in Massachusetts, Boston, begins reaching out to the courts and is like, "Listen, we will support her. We will help her. Obviously something was going on. She was having, issues since her father had died, this and that. There is a school for troubled teens we'd like her to come to here, and we will support her and take care of her." And the judges are like, "All right, you got it. Here she comes to Massachusetts." So she goes to this troubled school in Boston, now in the United States. So I've heard conflicting things. 6 weeks to a couple months into it, the family's like, hold up, we want nothing to do with you. You are too much. We wash our hands of you. Bounce, peace out of our life. And apparently Boston, like, they didn't have anything on her. So like, all right, go on and live your life. Take care. I've also heard that she did wonderful things and did great and has been very successful in life. What the true story on that aspect is, I'm not sure. At the end of the day, where we come back to Harvard is, so she did wonderful, apparently, in school. She applied to Harvard and she was friggin' accepted to like the #1 college, in this country. Like, friggin' round of applause. Of course, she made the paper for it. Like, that's a big accomplishment. Well, on her application, she had lied and said that her mom was killed in an accident and didn't like say the truth. And didn't like say the truth. Why did I say it like that? That sounds silly. Anyway, so she friggin' lied. She's a friggin' liar. So someone anonymously started sending in clippings and newspaper articles from when she was charged with her mother's murder in Canada. And needless to say, Harvard was like, oh, hold up. Hey, we're going to have to say, maybe you cannot come here. Thank you so much. Sorry we said yes, but we're going to have to say no. You got to go. So they pulled that out real quick. Needless to say, she did not go to Harvard. What she's doing now, I don't know. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for checking in with me. Isn't that a doozy? I told you, I bring you the doozies. The doozies of the doozies for stories. Anyways, I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, do good things, be kind to one another. Please don't forget to like, of course, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Storytime Auntie Cuckoo, K-O-O, K-O-O. Ooh, K-O-O, K-O-O. I messed it up there. Anyways, do good things. Check you on the flip side. Peace. Hi, Joey. I need my hair done. I need it did.